Before you watch this video, put on your headphones or move somewhere quiet where no one will disturb you. Because what you're about to hear isn't a story about luck. It's a story about quiet discipline, patience, and how one ordinary American truck driver quietly built a multi-million-dollar fortune without fame, degrees, or privilege. His name was Earl Stevens, and for over 50 years, he spent more time on the road than at home. From the freezing roads of Montana to the long desert highways of Nevada, he drove 18-wheelers filled with goods that kept the country running. But no one ever imagined that the man behind that steering wheel was on his way to becoming a millionaire. Earl's life was simple. He lived in a modest one-story house in Brattleboro, Vermont. No new furniture, no big TV, no expensive vacations, just a small garden, a second-hand pickup, and a coffee pot that ran every morning at 5 a.m. He wore old flannel shirts, patched jeans, and boots that had seen more miles than most cars. He wasn't the kind of man you'd notice twice. But under that quiet, humble life, he was hiding one of the greatest financial success stories of modern America. When Earl passed away in 2014 at the age of 92, his friends, neighbors, and even relatives were shocked because the man who had spent his whole life cleaning his own truck and eating at cheap diners left behind a fortune worth over $12 million. At first, everyone thought it was a mistake. How could a truck driver, a man who never earned more than $45,000 a year, die a millionaire? But when his records were opened, they revealed decades of patience, wisdom, and the quiet power of compound interest. You see, Earl didn't believe in getting rich fast. He believed in getting rich for sure. He started small. In his late 20s, he opened a simple brokerage account. Every month, he invested a small part of his paycheck, sometimes just $25, sometimes $50, into solid American companies he understood: Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, General Motors. And as the years passed, he added more: Procter & Gamble, PepsiCo, Walmart. He didn't trade. He didn't speculate. He didn't care about fancy trends or stock tips. While others chased hype, Earl focused on value. He read financial newspapers during rest stops. He circled dividend-paying stocks with a red pen. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was just quietly building his future. He once told a younger trucker, "Money's like a rig, kid. You gotta keep it rolling steady. Stop too often, you lose momentum. Rush too hard and you crash. But stay patient, and you'll reach your destination." And that was his secret. He never stopped investing. He bought through every crash: the 1987 Black Monday, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis. When people were panicking, he was buying more. He didn't look at stock tickers every day. He looked at decades. He didn't care what the market did this week. He cared what it would do in 20 years. By his 60s, Earl's small portfolio had crossed $1 million. By his 70s, it had grown past $5 million. And by the time he passed away, the quiet truck driver's net worth had reached over $12 million, built entirely from his investments. But here's the most powerful part. He didn't spend it on himself. He lived like he always had: frugal, disciplined, grounded. When he died, he left most of his fortune to a local library and a hospital. The janitor who used to deliver supplies ended up funding scholarships and medical equipment for generations to come. That's real wealth. Not the kind that buys yachts, but the kind that changes lives. Earl's story went viral across America. News anchors called him the millionaire trucker. But he never saw himself that way. He used to say, "I wasn't rich. I was just consistent." That one line, "I was just consistent," is worth more than any investment course you'll ever buy. Because wealth doesn't come from brilliance. It comes from behavior. Earl understood something most people never will. You don't need a huge salary to become wealthy. You need a small income, a strong habit, and a long enough timeline. If you invest $200 a month from age 25 to 65 in a simple S&P 500 index fund, and the market averages 10% per year, you'll retire with over $1.2 million, even if you never increase your investment. Now imagine doing that for 50 years, like Earl did. That's how you build generational wealth without being born rich. He didn't have social media. He didn't have stock apps or crypto wallets. He just had belief that time and patience beat everything else. He once said, "I don't know what the market will do tomorrow, but I know what it'll do in 20 years and it'll grow." And he was right. The truth is, anyone can do what Earl did. You don't have to be a genius. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to start and stay. While others chase fast money, real wealth comes to those who let time work quietly in their favor. So next time you think your paycheck is too small or your goals too big, remember this story. The truck driver who drove his way to freedom. Mile by mile, dollar by dollar, he didn't wait for opportunity. He created it with patience, discipline, and a belief that slow money is real money. Because in the end, it's not about how fast you go. It's about how long you stay on the road. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe. Because real stories like this, stories of ordinary Americans quietly building extraordinary wealth, you'll only find them right here.